But shout out to Joe Biden and President fucking Trump. Did you watch the debate?
Nah.
Did you catch anything from the debate?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't care. Still trying to get this paper. Still trying to support the Nick and Mal show.
The Nick and Mal show. And listen, I'm the political guy. Malcolm is the business guy. We ain't even gonna tell y'all what Malcolm does. He takes care of everything behind the scenes. Right? The Nick and Mal show would not be possible.
Come on, don't say all of that.
Mal.
It's the main guy.
No. We're yin and yang.
Yeah, that's a fact.
He told the people. I won't even say Kobe and Shaq. It's not even Mike and Pimpin. This is Kobe and Shaq. But listen though, so the first debate, it was filled with a lot of interruptions on both sides, honestly, but obviously more so on Trump's path. He's a very abrupt guy. You know what I mean? He's not a politician. That's one of the things he actually told Joe Biden. Joe Biden, they were having they were having a conversation. I fucking hate this. I just got water all over me.
Typical.
I fucking hate when politicians do this. Kamala was doing it a lot in the vice presidential debate. They would look in the camera and said, "America, this is for you." Like, cut it out. Nobody's falling for that anymore.
Old people are falling for that. They get chills from that, bro. But that's the most excitement thing they have right now.
You're right. So they were talking about China foreign policy, and Trump said something very eloquent, and Joe Biden, the corniest shit, he started talking about, "America, we're dropping the taxes for poor people because you home, sitting at your table, don't know if you can change the tires on your car." And
he did not say some shit like that.
A verbatim that he said, "Middle America, you're worrying about can you change the tire of your car or not, sitting around the table." And Trump is looking at him in disgust. And Trump is like, "Yo, are you serious with this typical politics?" She's like, "That's why I won, because I'm not a typical politician. We talking about China, and you talking about niggas sitting around a table at home." We should put the clip up.
That's a problem if you can't pay for your tire.
And he said middle-class Americans. What middle-class Americans cannot pay for a tire change?
Come on, son. I'm going to tell you what Todd Billy do. I just got a ticket for parking by a fire hydrant. I just heard Todd Billy yesterday saying on a podcast. He was like, "You know what I do to tickets?" I go, "Oh, just another $100 and pay the shit. I don't complain and wait so it can rack up to $1,000.
Todd Billy got money. I've let it rack up to $1,000, not because I was complaining, because I was broke, nigga. But listen though, so honestly, as we spoke about in the first debate, I think Biden surprised both of us. He's very sharp, and I actually think, like, I'm gonna say something good about Biden. I don't think mentally he's slipping. I think he has a speech impediment, and he knows he's 78, and everyone is looking for him to have these slips and these gaffes, and he's trying to overcompensate for it. I also think he's an extremely fast thinker. If you listen to him speak, he thinks 3-4 sentences out. So sometimes he's on sentence 1, and he's thinking about what he's going to say after it, and so he kind of fucks up the sentence. And then it doesn't help that he's fucking Botoxed up and his face is just pulled. Like, it looks ridiculous. And
they both look ridiculous.
Yeah, and he'll just try to get through it. But first debate, I think Biden surprised us with that. And this debate, they set up the rules perfectly for Trump to look bad. They muted their mics in between so they couldn't interrupt each other. And Trump has never given us this eloquent presidential debate before. He has never. He actually plays pretty dirty. In 2016, he brought out a lady who Bill Clinton was having affairs with to the Hillary Clinton debate.
What?
Yeah, and he actually brought out someone who accused Bill Clinton of sexual misconduct.
What?
And in this one, he brought out someone else that accused Biden of having like foreign policy deals with China to make like money and stuff like that. But they set up the debate so Trump couldn't beat Trump. And it was actually so beautiful to watch that Trump was the well-spoken politician that none of us believed he could be. Like, he was like taking his turn, not interrupting anyone, speaking about what they actually asked them, you know what I mean, very respectfully. And I thought it was amazing. I actually was thinking that this is kind of Lamar Jackson-esque, in the sense that Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback. And what do we think about when we think about running quarterbacks?
They can't throw.
They can throw a little bit, because Trump could definitely talk and communicate, but the running part of his game is what makes him a high-level NFL quarterback. If he didn't have that, he would not be effective. And last year, we've seen Lamar Jackson rush for 100 yards a game. And some games, he's going to have 6 passing touchdowns. Some games, he kind of refuses to run. And that's what I thought about Trump. I'm like, you took his number one weapon away, and he showed you he could perform regardless. And
he could adapt. And that's the number one thing in life right there. How can you adapt?
Yes.
And if you know how to adapt, you could survive anywhere. He's showing that, hey, you can mute me. I'm going to survive.
I'm going to survive.
Come out on top.
Yeah, nah, he's good. He's a great fucking communicator, man. I just get excited listening to Trump. And I think I finally found out why it seems like I'm a Trump fan. Because I don't really like Trump that much. I don't really like Biden either. But number one, all I do is listen to CNN, and I kind of just see the hypocrisy in what they say. I see how I was watching the news, and they interviewed 4 people. They interviewed 2 beautiful Hispanic women that were voting for Trump, and their reasons for voting for Trump was so stupid. It's like, oh yeah, he supports businesses. Oh yeah, he's gonna cut taxes for businesses. And then the 2 people they interviewed for why they're voting for Biden, it's this long story about how her husband died and how she's struggling. Like this heartfelt interview to connect with people. And it's so blatant. And listen, I am a critical consumer of media. I see this shit. It's so blatant. I'm going to put that up here. I'm going to show you the things they try to make it seem like they're not biased. But it's so clear, like, what y'all doing is not equal. Right? After the debate, they were talking about, they have a fact checker where they fact check both candidates. They had 3 fact checks they did. They fact checked Trump and Trump was wrong, and they fact checked Biden for one and he was right. Like, is that what y'all gonna get from us?
Come on now. That's OD.
It's so blatant, bro. It's so blatant.
That's so bad.
Yeah. But I love that debate, man. Shout out to Trump, shout out to Biden.
That's a fact. Shout out to them.
I think Trump is taking it.
You think so?
Yeah, I think
they got some like banner right by my area, right on Middle Country. Big banner where they selling Trump clothes and everything. I think someone tried to hit him because it was they moved back and there was a sign that was pushed down.
Where?
Yeah, it get crazy. That's the scary thing about this debate. I feel like it's gonna get crazy.
Why? Oh, you think?
Like no matter who wins, it might.
I was listening to something like that, and I think the country is divided enough, and
it's so sad how
everything is so radical that whoever wins, there might be some bad shit.
Yeah,
especially if Trump loses.
Yeah, definitely. That's what they're saying, and it's kind of sad to think like that. Like people are so riled up, and their life depends on this so much that it's honestly sad.
The sad part is their life don't depend on it.
It truly doesn't, but they depend their life on it.
And I think people look at politics like sports too much. In the sense that if you're a Giants fan, you're a Giants fan, right? Even if the Seahawks are better than you, you go in a Giants fan, you lose, you're sad. You win, you're fucking happy.
Because you got more than one chance.
The thing about politics is it's really a race to who can treat the country better. So technically, no matter who wins, you should be happy. Right? If you get what I'm saying, like you shouldn't pick a side and be like, oh, I'm ride or die. Because it seems like if Joe Biden was to come out and say nigger 100 times, Democrats would still be Democrats. Why? Because we're democratic. There's no objectivity. And I think that's what democracy is, objectivity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think this guy is better for this reason. And it could flip. But somehow we got into this system of I'm going to be Republican, I'm going to be Democrat, and I don't give a fuck who's better for the country. I'm just going to stick with my side.
And that's the sad part. That's how it really is.
Mm-hmm.
And for the people that just sit there and just watch TV all day, the news all day, that's so horrible for you.
Right.
Like, it's honestly sad. You're just getting propaganda and one-side biased stories all day long, flooding yourself. Like,
I think that's the sad part about news.
That's why I fuck with the people that have a business. Because they focus on their business.
Right.
We're not focused on this is going to determine my life in the next few years.
But I think you could have a business and then be focused on current events and what's going on. No, that's true.
But at the end of the day, you understand, both of these guys make money. Both of these guys are going to be here for the people that make money.
Mm.
You understand? I never heard anything of like, I want to see the facts, probably is facts, but if a Democrat was in office, that businesses are going to fold. Like, there's no way. That cannot happen. That doesn't make sense. to have an economy, you need business. Why? Because it creates money. If we go buy a town right now, soon. Nah, but if we go buy,
Yo, by the way, I be chatting on here, but listen, man, that Mount Bayou documentary coming soon.
That's a fact.
That's probably the most interesting American story that none of us talk about.
That's a fact.
But go ahead.
But if we go buy, let's say Mount Bayou, right? A place called Mount Bayou. What's the first thing you're gonna need? Yeah, you're gonna need people, but you're gonna need to create something to get these people money, which is what? A job. So at the end of the day, I honestly feel like nothing, whoever is the president, is going to affect the economy as they think it is. You know? And let's say Biden tax plan, like, that's just not going to go through. You're ridiculous. Poor people, stop relying. I wouldn't even say poor people. People that think that they need to rely on taxing the wealthy people and we need to get tax left, just cut it out.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. It will never happen. Yes, sir.
Nope.
Split out.
Yep. Ever told on a nigga? Nope. Ever squeezed the trigger? Yep. Ever set a nigga up? Nope. Ever helped a brother out when he was down?